Hello everybody, my name is Icy Cubes and we're back in Blender. Gonna be doing more of our little couch slash living room tutorial. Let me just open up the file. Now, I just wanted to say quickly, I did the textures that I said I was gonna change earlier. I wasn't really planning on earlier doing another stream, but I just don't want to make anything else until I finish this whole scene. So I just decided, whatever, I'm just gonna do it. So yeah, it just goes up as a tutorial. I'll try not to make this one like as all over the place, because I know with the one earlier, like in the one yesterday, it just didn't make sense. But today I'll try and make sense of this. Try to make it not confusing, or right now. But we have this scene. I don't know how long it takes to render. If it takes too long, then I'm just gonna say the heck with it. Oh, it says like 8 minutes. Well, we have our scene here. I think we've done pretty good for the amount of time that we've put in it. I'd say around like 2 hours. So, if we just do like a quick render right here, this will be fine. Now as you can see, I textured the couch, the pillows. They're a little bit lighter. I wish I could make them lighter than what they are though right now. And then the blanket we have, the floor actually textured itself, which was weird. But yeah, we're gonna texture the floor now, the wall, and then get in some tables. But before we do any of the texturing, I'm going to try and keep this organized. We're going to actually do the table and get that in. But as you can see, we even got the normal maps on the cushion itself. So as you can see them a little bit. If we get rid of the fireflies, which we'll do at the end, you can actually see right here is one. There's a few right here. So you can actually make out where the creases are in the couch. So that will actually save us time from going in the sculpt mode and actually creating them ourselves, which are a little, they're not organic and they're more like, I don't know what the word would be for it, but they're not natural. They just won't look right. Now we can do a few right here in the front because I'm pretty sure this didn't really affect the front. But you can see a little bit right there, but doesn't seem like it affected it that much. Let's just actually get started. Let me move this out of the way because I hate when that's in the way, and I just noticed these are off again. I'll just use like my favorite color. Oh wait. Maybe if we do like 0.200. That's not the same color. Oops. This is just so stupid to slave myself over right now, but here we go. So now, basically, what I said, we want to get ourselves the tables. Let me just, really don't need this anymore because we're done with the couch. We're just going to use this as like a reference. So like I said, this is the other one I made. I just wanted to point out before we actually look at that, and if we go focus right here, this is basically all I did. So this was the original couch texture, and I didn't want like this weird like what's khaki color. If it was a little bit like more like tan, maybe, but it's just, oh, excuse me, it's just like a weird looking texture. So for the couch, I made it like this black. I just went in the Photoshop and went and pulled the saturation all the way down and pulled the lightness down too. And then we made this one for the pillows, which I might make a little bit brighter, depending on how it registers all of these. Now this was the displacement one, which I tried to use, but it didn't work. But yeah, basically this is how all the creases work, so it follows these lines. Now you can go into something like Crazy Bump, which actually I just downloaded today, but unfortunately I thought it was free. I don't know why, but like if I just show for a quick little example, if I can find it. I'm so blind. Okay, seriously. Okay, for some reason it's not showing up in here. So, never mind about that. But let's just actually get started on this. I'm just gonna move the cursor. I just made a little whistling noise. Move it right there. And we're gonna make another leg. But this leg is gonna be for the table. So let's extrude it down. Now we're gonna make a smaller table than what's in this picture because this was a bigger couch. And we're not gonna put this side table. What I think I'm gonna do is use the Archimesh and use like a shelf. I'm gonna at least try and see what looks good. Because I felt like this was a little repetitive right over here. So we're just gonna scale this and do all the extruding with it. Now I just want to look at the other one just because real quick. I want to give myself like a little bit of a reference just so I can look at it. Okay, so we're gonna extrude up just a tiny bit. Extrude, right click or left click. Actually I didn't ever go in depth on that. For me, I have my input where right here where everything to select, I select with my left click, and right click is where the little cursor goes. And if I want to just not place something somewhere, and most people are more comfortable with that because left clicking is usually how you do everything on the computer, so that's why it's set like that. But we basically got our table here now. This is it, our leg. No, I thought I did something wrong. Never mind. I think we just line it up with the couch. We're gonna do this -45, extrude one more, and again RY -45. So that's gonna get it on like an angle like this, so we can make the transition. We don't need the properties panel. No, open. Okay, obviously I can't talk. Let's pull this over a bit. Let's pull this down so that it's like even with it. Well, actually, we should pull this up. And then, now we have it. So I'm gonna go with like the same style, like that. Pull it a little bit more. Now, again, looks like trash because of these sharp edges. Now, we're gonna just do seriously, I can't think. We're gonna make a mirror modifier, so just put it on the X and go into edit mode again. And you're gonna just go a little bit overlapping so you can turn clipping on so that it won't pull itself away. And then we can just do a subdivision and put it on 2. Now there's actually a shortcut to this. If I hit Control and then at the number keys at the top of the keyboard, not the number pad, but at the top, if I just hit that, it will automatically put the subdivision surface on there. And that's pretty good. Like, I have to admit, it doesn't look that bad. Now, we used glossy metal for that. So this is just going to be the same as material. Seriously, I just cannot take this right now. Why is this on 0.2? Maybe 0.1. Okay. So now we're going to position this, duplicate, see how far apart we want it. Now don't worry, this isn't going to be this close to the couch. Can we? No. Here we go. So we're gonna move it away. Let's look at the camera. I would say scale more on the X. Except that does some weird stretching to the right here. So maybe pull it instead. Don't scale. Now the other thing we're gonna do real quick is we're gonna flatten these out a little bit. Nope, not there. I swear sometimes I could just do Blender stuff all day. It's just you have to be in that mood for it sometimes. Right now I'm in the mood. I don't want to like play any video games or anything like. It's just. But we're just gonna finish what we're doing here. Focus. And there we go. We got our legs, and those don't look that bad. They don't look as bad as the first legs that we made in the first tour. Don't even ask what happened. Like, those legs were disgusting. But again, if you want, what I'll do is I'll put this file in like the description or something, like, so you can download it. So if you want to look at all the little details, if you're not as skilled yet with, like, this is why I wrote for noobs, because I'm still quote unquote a noob. But if you aren't still comfortable with trying to model something like a leg or something, then I would recommend just downloading it. Now the other thing is, I would say this part's more like harder than the leg. Blanket's actually easy, so I can't believe we actually got this done. I'm actually surprised because this turned out amazing. Even the texture of it, I just made like this really weird texture. If you weren't there for that, this is actually the texture. It's like a blue, white, and gray lines. So yeah, it's a nice texture. I like it. I use, like, as you can see up here, I use like this checkered. Honestly, like I said, something went wrong with me in this picture, and I just did not have like any focal, like where I wanted people to look. I just like made it like, okay, you're just gonna scatter your eyes. Like, if you look at this picture, you don't know where to look. Maybe the blanket, maybe the picture, or maybe the pillows. Now, that's why for this one, I made the couch black, and I'm gonna make the wall the same texture. But yeah, I don't know what I was doing. Seriously, I should not have started that one, like, when it was early in the morning. So we're gonna just do this. Set the cursor here. Now what we're gonna do is make a plane. So this is gonna be the glass. So we're gonna scale. Well, before we scale, we're gonna move this to the middle. Scale on the Y. Get this like a table look. But other than that, that looks actually good. We can just fix the scaling on the Y. Maybe a little bit bigger. Move it a little bit this way, because like when you think about this, people need to walk through here. So maybe if we scale on the X just a tad, because this is like a coffee table. Yeah, we'll mess with that a little bit more. But now what you want to do for this table, so we're gonna make a glass table. Now, first thing that you notice with glass tables and just glass in general, like, if you have a glass door or something. Now in this picture right here, I actually did, this was me getting back into like Blender and photorealistic stuff. So this picture right here was following like kind of a tutorial. I made most of the objects by hand, like the soap dispenser, the towel rack, lamp. I didn't make the faucet because I wasn't prepared enough. But I made these bottles, handle, the mirror, window. But you can't really notice it that much in here. But on this area right here, you can kind of see it a little bit. This is like the edge of the other glass piece, because there's a glass piece on that side, and there's this one right here. But on this one, you can kind of see how it's like a teal color, and even the glass itself is like a teal. Just ignore the water. So to make this texture, it's probably like my go-to glass texture because of the fact that it just works, and it's one of those nice textures. I'm just gonna show you real quick, so let me just open up my reference over here so that, because I don't remember it by heart yet. Someday I will, but it's actually not that big. Like, I would say the blanket has more nodes than this, so basically we're gonna go into our nodes. So like I said, I have these set up right here: animation, default, the node editor one, and then a UV. But we're gonna stay in the node one right now. Now we're gonna try and just render a little portion of the table. So I'm gonna actually move these to layer 5, so we don't take long to render this. So I'm gonna render in this little square right there. I'm gonna take it just a sip. The legs, I don't know. I think they're glossy. Yeah. But again, like I said earlier too, we're using the Pro Lighting Skies demo, which has these 3 different skies right here, which are useful. I think I had this on 50. But we're gonna select the glass. Now, like I said before, nodes, they're a little tricky at first, but once you understand what's going to what, you're good. It's just, if you have a reference, like something like this is what we're going for right here. This is what we're gonna make, and you just follow along with it. I'm gonna start from left to right. We're gonna delete this right here, and we're gonna add in some light path. So we can just search it right here, light path, and it looks something like this. And then we're gonna get a math shader. I think it's a math shader. Yes it is. And we are gonna put the shadow ray and diffuse ray, so this one and this one, into those values. And then we're gonna copy this with Shift D, and we're gonna pull this value right here and the glossy ray value into this add shader. So we just duplicated that, and then we're gonna go and get a glass shader. We're just gonna put it here, and oh, we're not gonna copy it. Don't do that. And a transparent, and we're gonna put that into a mix shader. So there we go. Now nothing's gonna be going on right here just yet. You're gonna see it at the end. And then underneath this mix shader, we're gonna put a volume absorption shader, I think it is. And then another mix shader. So we're just gonna Shift D again. Let's pull that a little bit. pull this shader into that. And I'll show you why we're going to be doing that just real quickly. Pull this into the displacement. So as you can see already, something's happening. We're going to put this on a high value of 40. And we're actually going to change the color of it to like a teal-ish. You don't want to go too blue. Right now, you can see how weird it looks. But, yeah, we're definitely going to fix that. Now, I'm pretty sure... Oh, I didn't pull this. This goes into the factor right there. And the mix shader... See, this is why everything didn't come up. Mix shader is right in there. So, as you can see, we got glass already. Now, it's supposed to happen, and the reason why it's not... We're going to add a bevel. No, whatever, I just added. No. We're going to add a bevel. And keep it at the default, but put 2 segments on this. And we're just going to look at it real quick. And we actually need, and I don't have it on over here. We actually want to start with a solidifier modifier. And with this, I'm going to do what I did with the blanket. I put it on 1.5 meters, so this is why you have to put 1.5 cm. And we're going to put the offset all the way up so that it's not going through the legs of the table. We're just going to apply that real quick. Now, on the edges of the table, you can see how it has this effect that it's darker than the glass and you can't see through it. The other thing we're going to do is add a screen. Oh wait, that is in the... I couldn't find this last time. What was that in? It's not in the math. It's in one of the other ones. Wait, what? No, is this a math? No. See, it has like most of the same things as the math, but let me just search this. Okay. Okay, so this is a mix RGB node, so that's what it is. So that's going to be under color, mix RGB, and we're going to put it on screen and pull this into the factor. Now what this is going to do is we're going to open up actually this too. Again, I'm going to give a shout out to Polygon. You can make a 30-day trial or do like $10 a month, whatever plan you want to set up. But basically you can get these right here, fingerprint smudges, and these will give like, I don't know, it didn't show up as much in my last render, but if you put these on different types of materials, you'll get a more realistic look. So I don't know if it's going to show up. You usually can only see them at an angle, but put it on no color data or non-color data, color data. We're going to just pull it into a factor or color. We're actually going to put it in the color. You really can't see any difference with it. And I might have just realized why. You're over here. Subdivide this, I would say maybe 5 times. Just add some geometry to it. And UV unwrap it And there it is. Ah, I'm so dumb. If I only did that on my last one. So as you can see right here, we got like the fingerprints. So I didn't do this last time, and I should have, because you can actually see it. You can see it from a distance, but what we're gonna actually do is go to our UV, get this set up. I'm so dumb. I wish I remembered that last time. Okay, so let's just render this out, and we can see it right there. And if we scale up, fingerprints are going to become more and more, but they're going to become smaller. So we're actually going to scale down on the Y and scale on the X. As you can see, we got like these fingerprint smudges, and I'm gonna just rotate it so it gives it like a random. Or did that actually not do anything? No, it did. Okay. So now we got more realistic, like if someone was like, I don't know, touching the glass or something. Now I wish you could get like, you probably can try to do it, but I don't have like an image texture for it. Now I might look for one. If I do find one, I'll get it on there. But like if someone leaves like a glass and doesn't have like a coaster on it, you could try and do something like that. But yeah, this actually really turned out good. For once something worked. And we're gonna go back to the default view. So get these layers back in. And actually for this layer, I'm just gonna delete everything on it. So there we go. Now I'm just gonna do a render just real quick. Let's just put on 200 samples. Just render it. It's not gonna look that great, but just give it the amount of time. It says like 5 minutes, so I really don't know what to say other than yeah, I'm happy that that did turn out good. Like I said, on the first render I did over here, you can see how smooth and how there's nothing on it, and it just looks fake. Like it doesn't look right. I'm also gonna go over, and once we get close enough to doing it, is how to make the or like final render, which will be helpful if you haven't done like any renders. We could possibly use Sheepit, the render farm, which actually we could try it. Wasn't gonna do it with this one because this isn't the final render. But let me just check and see if anybody left any comments or anything. Okay, no. There's like 3 minutes remaining, so for me, I'm just gonna go check Instagram. Yeah, this is just awkward, like, you know, just waiting for it, but I don't know what to say while I'm waiting here. Okay, this is like almost halfway there. almost there. Chair's creaking again. Still haven't gotten that fixed. Okay, so we can get the main idea of this. For the floor, I don't know what to do. Like, I want something that's gonna be brighter. Because black is a hard color. Now, if we want to go bold on this, now, I'm just gonna say this now. If you want to go totally bold on your couch, you could go like GTA. Yeah, you know, like, let me see if I can find it. The render or the video probably looks like crap right now because of this rendering. But if we just look for like GTA apartment, there we go, the one that I've seen before. Okay, so if we can get a good shot at this, I think there's this one right here. That's a white couch. I know I've seen one, but I can't find it. No one posts this like on the internet. Basically, you can get, this is at 92%. Get it with like this kind of theme in it. Where the furniture's orange. Now, this is a weird choice, but it's like a bold choice for the developers of the game. And I guess they decided to make something like this so that it stood out. So when you went to the room, you had something to notice. But for our house, our little living room here, we actually have the smudges. It's doing some weird thing right here with the reflection. And I think this is because this isn't completely on the ground. But you can actually see those smudges. Like when you zoom in, all the noise ruins it. But everything's there. We're gonna actually go into our camera. Oh yeah, these are off the ground. Might just pull this up slightly. Oh, there. Okay, so yeah, they have some weird furniture choices. Like just looking at these chairs right here. Just look at these things. Like, what are those? Like, I seriously want to question, what the heck are those? Like, oh, not that. We have to hit view image. Like, just look at these things. Like, that is a brave move right there. I just have to say, like, we got like the seat itself, and then the arms, and then yeah. So now what we're gonna do is one last thing to just give it a purpose, I guess. We're actually gonna make a chair, and put it right next to this table. But before I do that, I just wanna see how much room I have. So we're gonna model the whole chair just because it's practice. Even though the whole thing is gonna be in the frame or the shot, it's still gonna be practice for you. If you're a beginner at this, this is helpful. I haven't taken this step to like doing this, so I'm just gonna go on the internet and I'm just gonna search like a modern chair, just something around there, and this one right here. First thing I noticed about this is a render. I can point that out really well. Seen this chair before, and the lighting of it, like whoever made it, they did good on it. But we are gonna look for a chair that will fit this type. Maybe something like around this. I think this could work. We're gonna hit view image, we're gonna save it. I'm gonna save it into my folder of all my images of reference. And we're just gonna pull it into here. So the legs are a little funny, but let me just see if I can find any more like around that idea. There's a lot of weird chairs. Who knew chairs could be so interesting? What happens if I type in modern living room chair? The other thing that's just happened recently, I actually traded keyboards, so I have the Black Widow Chroma still, but the one with the number pad and the macros. But the macro keys are useless. I'm not going to use those at all. But, yeah. I think this is the chair we're going with. So, we don't have to put too much detail into it because of the fact that it's going to be off to the side. But you always want to get in that habit of actually trying on something like this. But what we're going to do first is make a cube. We're going to scale it down, GZ1, or not, I was just trying to get it lined up to the floor, but it doesn't have to be exactly on the floor. So we can actually just model half of the chair, but I don't understand what the point of that would be. Gonna make the chair, maybe we can fit it into like the whole frame. But we really don't want this to be the main focus, so that's why we're going to make this out here in the distance. Gonna just line it up right there. We are going to duplicate back this way, get it close to the wall. Select both of these, just pull it over. And then we're going to select all of them and Control J, which will join all of them. Actually, yeah, Control J. Now what we're going to do is go into here, and I'm going to make this like little thing right here. We actually don't have to do this for all of them, just because we're going to take like the little shortcut road. So we're going to go on the Y. And make sure you put it right there, I would say. Now what we're gonna do here is actually we are gonna make these, have these just so you don't get in that slacking idea. But we are gonna go and hit Alt M at last. So select these ones last, or it's not going to work. At last. Same thing, go over here. Alt M at last, and Alt M at last. So now, what we can actually do is just, I would say delete these two right here. Just gonna delete them, so that, and we're just gonna select this one and duplicate it and bring it back so that all of them are even. And same thing, so we're gonna go to faces. I can select this one right there, there we go. Extrude the X-axis, And now we basically got our frame for this chair. So let's go here. And this one. Or actually, again, select this one. And then this one. Alt M at last. I need a drink. My throat is like dying. Alt M at last. Yeah, it's a little repetitive, but this is what you get yourself into if you want to do modeling in Blender. I got used to it, you know. It's not that big of a deal. You know, some people just don't have the patience for something like this. For me, I don't care. This isn't that big of a deal. Like, you're doing something repetitive, but does it really matter? As long as you're getting it done and as long as it works. So, there we are. We got ourselves a nice frame for our chair. So, the only thing I wish I could do is move the origin to the center, but I forget how to do that. Yeah, we'll just deal with it. So we'll put the cursor over there again and get another cube Minecraft. Now we're just gonna set this on top, so it's basically like this is gonna sit here. We have been going for 41 minutes. Dang. Why do I always let these go so long? So we're just gonna go in the edit mode again. Face select. Select all of these. Just like pull them to the edge of the chair. Just so they're right there. Now for homework, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have everybody here that's watching. You're gonna actually finish modeling this on your own. Now I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm just gonna guide one more step for you, and that is putting these loop cuts here. And basically this will make this a little bit easier for you to understand where you're gonna go and how you're gonna do this. I keep hitting the Windows key. I should like just turn that off. So I'm gonna go in this route on this. So you can tell me what you're gonna do, how you're gonna try and build this, and yeah, I'm gonna try and do another stream again tomorrow. Maybe later, like, so I'm not doing two. But yeah, you tell me what you're gonna do here. I already have it set up how I'm gonna do it and know how I'm gonna do it. Yeah, so just play around with all the little settings in Blender. I'm gonna give you a hint, and that is gonna be that these are not gonna be here. And yeah, that should help. So good luck. If you don't get it done, I'll put the file for this chair in the description. So if you want it, but other than that, if you enjoyed, freeze the like button. If you want to see more of these like tutorial videos and want to do more of them on your own, go to blender.org. It's free. You don't need to pay any money at all for Blender. It is an open source animation slash creation software. So as you can see right here, just all the little things, so you can download it. You can use these for your own movies, YouTube videos, commercials, basically anything you want to do, all free. So I'm just shouting them out a little bit because I've used Blender for 2 years now. Yeah, 2 years. This April will actually be 2 years, because I started by making an animation for like a Minecraft thing, which wasn't the best, but you know, I pulled through. But yeah, it's a great software. Learn how to do cycles, all these things. So, great channel to, I would say, guide you. Oops, I didn't mean to open the whole thing. Would be a great tutorial helper, and that would be Blender Guru with the website right here. Yeah, you can get a peek of all my subscriptions. But no, here you go. Yeah, that's basically it. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in my next stream. And good luck with the chair. In the next video slash stream, maybe it will be a video. We're actually gonna pull the chair over. So what I'm gonna do real quick too. So right after this stream ends, I'm gonna record a quick little video on how to model the chair, and I'm gonna upload it. So if you need help, then and you want to make the chair,